Whilst he hadn't shown much forward planning for his business and clients in the event of his death, he had at least made provision for his 2 pet chihuahuas, for whom he set up a trust fund of just under $100,000. That's insane. What are you doing?
I love dogs. Doesn't everyone? Bye. What?
Today's video is brought to you by HelloFresh. More on them in just a bit.
Oh, hello there. Welcome back to another episode of Brain Blaze. I am host Simon. This is written by Danny. Shocking crypto scams that stole millions. Oh my god, there's so many of these. One of my favorite channels. In fact, don't watch this video. There's a guy who does this even better. CoffeeZilla, who's absolutely blown up over the last year, and it's been amazing to see because his it's probably some of my favorite content on YouTube, and it's amazing. Just you could YouTube search him because I'll almost certainly forgot to put the link in below, but he always covers these crypto scams, and I love it. It's so horrible. And the influencer scams, I hope we cover these, Danny, because there's like just people stealing money from their fans and they know it, and it's like, oh my god, you guys have like no moral compass whatsoever. Look, I don't have a brilliant moral compass, but I'm like, I know that's wrong. I might not know much about the difference between right and wrong, but that I know is wrong. Like, someone murders someone, I know that's wrong. Someone steals money from their fans who like them and trust them, that's not right.
I may be an idiot, but I'm not stupid.
That's not. And speaking of that, have you tried out my new crypto coin, Whistler Token? No, not really. Obviously. Too many so-called blockchain experts insist that you exercise extreme caution before committing to a major investment in a new cryptocurrency. Tell you what, I'll advise, just don't do it. Although friends of mine, and this isn't bullshit. You know, some people will be like, I got rich off Bitcoin. A friend of mine, I think I've told this story before.
He bought Bitcoin when it was at $100. And I was like, mate, you're absolutely nuts. And he bought dozens of them. And I'm like, mate, you're putting thousands of dollars into Bitcoin. It was worth like less than a cent 3 years ago. And now it's $100. You don't think this is the top? He's like, I don't think this is the top.
Well, guess who looks like an idiot now? Not him, me. They'll advise you to study the white paper at great length, learn about the potential of the new currencies on offer, join a community of experienced crypto nuts who really know their shizzle, and never get caught up in the marketing hype. Well, bollocks to that. Everyone knows that the key thing to look out for in any new crypto investment is the size of the returns on offer. How does a yield of 1,354% sound? F***ing fake, Daddy.
I knew it was fake. I knew it. If
anyone says, look, Bernie Madoff, one of the biggest con men in history. You know how much he was suckering people in with? Like, you know how much like his Ponzi scheme investment return on offer was per year? Tell you what, it wasn't 1,354%. Oh no. It wasn't 1,000%. It wasn't 100%. It was 11%. Bernie Madoff's scam was 11%. And it was a scam because people can't offer an 11% return. So what do you think the chances of a 1,354% return actually being a thing are? Give you a clue. Is 0%.
It's false. It's totally made up. Pure fiction. It's a total fabrication.
That's what Plexcoin were offering in 2017. I'll have some of that, please. Curiously, the white paper for Plexcoin was released only hours before the launch of the initial coin offering, or ICO. This is remarkably similar to an IPO, an initial public offering, except there's no red tape or paperwork or auditing or anything like that at all. In fact, which is likely to protect the potential investor. Yeah, it's wild. It's like, it's real money, but there's absolutely no regulation. And all these like, I don't know, these libertarian guys or like super like crypto bros, they're all like, it's great, it's the free market. And it's like, yeah, it sounds like a way for you to exploit people, doesn't it? Because, look, I'm not a giant fan of the government getting all up in everyone's shit and, like, doing this. It's like, I don't want to say, like, I like small government, because that makes me sound like a prick. But, like, there should be a balance, sure. But I feel like regulation of the financial industry and stuff is generally good for the consumer because it stops people getting scammed by unscrupulous pricks. The white paper promised that all funds raised by the ICO would be spent on developing and maintaining the exciting new PlexCoin infrastructure, as well as the promises of that super tempting 13-fold return on your investments. It also explained that PlexCoin was offered through a mysterious entity known as PlexCorps. Corpse? I don't know if that should be pronounced corpse, because it's like corporation, but it's also with an S on the end, so it's like who cares?
Oh my god, a dead body!
This company was currently based in the heart of Singapore and was made up of a team of 53 people, including wealthy company founders, lawyers, private fund specialists, tax experts, and a really good cleaner who popped into the office on Wednesday mornings. However, dude, you're only having your office cleaned once a week and you got 53 people in there? I have my office cleaned once every 2 weeks and there's one of me, and it still gets pretty messy. However, I didn't want to get too bogged down with specific details like exact locations or names. The paper explained that this was to make sure that nobody is harassed on social media or recruited by other companies. Well, it turns out that the mighty PlexCorps was in fact just run by a Canadian couple and their house-sharing buddy in Quebec after race. So basically, these things just fucking lie. It's like, yeah, it's founded out of the elite group of people in the financial center of Asia, Singapore. No, it's just, we ran out of our basement in our house. We just lied.
It never happened. This one was invented by a writer.
After raising around $8 million. Oh my god. In the ICO, they proceeded to funnel most of it into their personal bank accounts and digital currency wallets. Surprise! And then blow it all on luxurious living expenses and home renovations. What rotters. And I was so taken in by that return of 1,354%. Funnily enough, the ringleader, Dominic Lacroix, had been ordered by the Financial Markets Administrative Tribunal of Quebec, that is a mouthful, Quebec, Jesus, not to launch the ICO in the first place as they smelled something fishy about PlexCoin. I'm actually amazed that a government entity was on top of this enough. Bravo. Although they didn't stop it, did you? It seems that Dominic ignored the order as he felt that the court had no authority outside of Canada. Wait, but you're in Quebec. It's going to be an issue, mate. And all of it's like, no, we're in Singapore. But you're not, are you? You're in your house. They're just going to come knocking. Hello, mate. Yeah. Sorry to bother you. Canadians apologize, right? All the time, like Brits.
Oh, sorry.
All the negative media coverage was largely written in French, so the rest of the world wouldn't have understood and wouldn't mind if he went ahead and launched the ICO in the US. He was found guilty of contempt of court, fined $110,000, and thrown in jail for 2 months. Wait. He made $8 million. He was fined $110,000. That leaves him with $7,890,000. I think that's right. And he was thrown in jail for 2 months. So basically he made $3.5 million. 3.7, what, it doesn't matter, $1 million a month in jail. I mean, I don't want to, it needs to be fined more. This still left the minor problem that thousands of investors had poured $8 million into what was later revealed to be nothing more than a Ponzi scheme. But the US Securities and Exchange Commission had this. They'd recently formed their all-new cyber unit to tackle down devious scams, and cyber unit sounds like a 1990s movie. I love that that's a real thing in the future. And PlexCoin was to be this unit's very first assignment. Uh-oh. Look, if Bernie Madoff went to prison, he went to prison like 100 years. You're not getting away with 2 months. You're going down because I'm imagining you sold this to Americans, and the Americans are not going to be happy about that. Uh-oh. By the end of 2017, the SEC had ordered PlexCorps to cease operations and frozen all investor funds. In the SEC's final judgment, the 3 scammers admitted to no wrongdoing but agreed to pay back close to $7 million in fines and penalties. Most of the investors are likely to eventually get their money back thanks to the swift action taken by the cyber unit. But the PlexCoin trio still faces charges in the US for securities fraud, wire fraud, and conspiracy to commit money laundering. Meanwhile, the Quebec Revenue Agency is determined to strip the trio of all of their assets in a bid to recoup some of that investor money.
I'll tell you what you get. Call the police. Get what you fucking deserve.
It sounds like they got on this pretty fast, so people are going to get the money back, which is kind of amazing, because I just assumed with this crypto it's like, nah, it's like in some wallet somewhere. It's just ones and zeros. You're never getting it back. Kind of impressed. Dominic was last publicly spotted shuffling around grumpily outside his former home as a team of bailiffs sold most of the valuable items in an auction held on his former doorstep. The crowd picked up a few bargains that day, including a $10,000 kitchen table. Good lord, which went for $1,500. Oh my god, I need to start buying my furniture at the scam auction. God damn, that's where you get the deal. Although it's kind of you kind of got to feel a little bit guilty, right? Because that $10,000 was bought with someone else's money, which they're hoping to get back, and you just got the table for $1,500. So you've got a table that kind of someone lost $8,500 on a scam for. I'd feel quite bad owning that table. I had a box of 14 Nixon watches, which were snapped up for $1,150. I've never heard of Nixon watches, but 14 for $1,150, they're actually pretty cheap. Okay, but you're always going to come across 1 or 3 bad apples in any emerging new industry. Don't let this one-off story put you off investing in cryptocurrency. Wait, Danny. Danny, what are you saying? No, you absolutely should. If a 13-fold investment seemed improbable, just be sensible to seek out the next highest.
Let me interrupt today's video for a very important announcement from today's video sponsor, HelloFresh. HelloFresh recipes are delicious. That's what they say here. And they are. They say the truth. HelloFresh speaks the truth, and that's why we love them. Oh, they have Mediterranean recipes. I just booked a holiday to the Mediterranean. It's in September. It's a while away. But I'm very much looking forward to it. This is not relevant to the ad read. Let's carry on.
Why are you the way that you are?
Their newest menu release includes Mediterranean recipes that are filled with fresh fruits and veggies, nuts, olive oils, and fiber-packed whole grains for nourishing balance. That does sound good, doesn't it? I mean, whole grains and fiber-packed. I'm like, does fiber make you put... This isn't important to the ad. I'm sure it's good for you, but it does sound... I love nuts. It just sounds tasty, doesn't it?
These nuts. Ha, got him.
HelloFresh's chefs know how to diversify your dinner menu with seasonal spring recipes like sweet heat shrimp tempura bowls. Good lord, that is a mouthful, like the mouthful you'll be having of those tempura bowls. Yes! And some other stuff. 1 pot creamy lemon dill chicken soup. I think I mentioned this before in ad read. Chicken soup is like I don't feel it's underrated because of course everyone loves chicken soup, but in terms of simple delicious meals, chicken soup is up there with like cheese on toast in terms of deliciousness. Easily save time, money, and stress. That's just the best, isn't it? I like more free time, I like spending less money, and I hate stress. Brilliant. Their quick and easy meals minimize the prep time and make cleanup a breeze. Oh my god, cleaning up. I was just specking a kitchen. I've bought a house. And I'm like... to the designer, I'm like, you're going to need to put 2 dishwashers in. And they're like, what are you talking about? And I'm like, well, 1 dishwasher's never enough and I'm not going to wash up anymore. So I'm putting 2 dishwashers in. This isn't relevant. Why am I talking about holidays and dishwashers? I should be talking about what HelloFresh is. I'm so sorry, HelloFresh. Look, we'll make the ad read a little bit longer, okay? I'm sorry. 72% cheaper than dining at a restaurant, according to a Zagat dining survey. Brilliant. Also, if you've got health goals, they help you get there as well. Probably something I should have in my life, but I don't. And they also help you eat more sustainably. Oh yeah, they don't waste so much food. Good lord. I don't know, I'll make food that is not HelloFresh. And it'll be like, yeah. What's with the rest of these carrots they're throwing away? It was I bought them for 1 meal, and they only sell them by the pack of 10 kilograms, and you're throwing away like 700 carrots because you needed 4. And it's just, I am a horrible person. But not with HelloFresh, no. Okay, go to HelloFresh.com and use the code BRAIN16 for up to 16 free meals and 3 surprise gifts. Again, repeat the offer, URL and promo code. Very well. Go to HelloFresh.com and use the code BRAIN16 for up to 16 free meals and 3 surprise gifts. Why not? 16 free meals? Amazing! And now back to today's video.
You can't take it all with you. Imagine walking into a bank to make a substantial withdrawal, only to be told that the bank clerk called clerk and... only to be told by the bank clerk called clerk that... Really, is this you making fun of me, Danny, when I was really struggling with the fact that a clerk is not a clerk? I was really struggling with that in a previous episode. I kept calling like clerk. Why is that so hard? Fuck you, Danny. Ooh! The manager died last week and he was the only one who had the keys to the vaults. Oh no. After you had passed on your condolences, you and Clerk, the clerk would probably have a good chuckle about it. Of course, that wouldn't happen in a real bank, but it might happen in a cryptocurrency exchange. I've heard about this one. The guy died and he had the only password and they lost like billions. They're just locked up in some wallet. It's like, Quadriga CX was a Canadian cryptocurrency exchange launched in 2013 by Gerald Cotton and Michael Patrin. It was later... What's up with Canada? What are you up to, Canada, with your crypto scams? Allegedly.
Attention, Canada. I am Barney from America. Number 1, get real money.
It was later revealed that Michael had been known by many different names prior to the launch and had served 18 months in prison in the US for identity theft charges before being deported back to Canada after pleading guilty to grand theft charges. So, he sounds like the dodgy one, right? Well, in fact, he had disappeared from the company by 2006 when Gerald became the sole director of what now had evolved into the largest and most trusted cryptocurrency exchange in Canada. If we're being specific, Gerald wasn't the sole director, he was the sole employee. Quadriga may have been pulling in tens of millions of dollars in Bitcoin exchanges, but the company had no staff, no officers, no bank accounts, not so much as a knackered vending machine. Gerald appeared to run the entire business from his MacBook Pro. I mean, Jesus Christ. And he was doing pretty well out of it. He and his fiancée, Jennifer Robertson, were enjoying a lavish lifestyle, stamping up high-end real estate and aircraft and the obligatory big, massive yacht. Uh-oh. But a couple of prickly problems began to emerge during the cryptocurrency crash of 2018, during which time his clients found it difficult to withdraw any funds. It hadn't really helped matters that the Canadian Imperial Bank of Commerce had frozen the US equivalent of around $22 million in Quadriga accounts following what they deemed to be suspicious behavior. Maybe that suspicious behavior was buying a massive yacht. Whilst a simple software bug had apparently wiped out a further $10 million from the exchange, as funds had accidentally been rendered inaccessible. Confronted with cascading concern over the credibility of his crumbling crypto cock-up, nailed it. Gerald and Jennifer decided this would be a really good time to get hitched and enjoy a nice honeymoon in Jaipur, India. I thought I was going to say, and enjoy a nice honeymoon in a non-extradition country. Tragically, only one of them would make it back alive. Oh my god, okay. Oh, someone is, yeah, he's dead. He's definitely dead, and he's not changed his face and identity to be an Indian man living in Jaipur.
Wait a minute. Who are you?
Allegedly. Jennifer later announced that Gerald, who was known to have suffered from Crohn's disease, had been taken ill and rushed to hospital where he was diagnosed with septic shock and intestinal obstruction. Following further episodes of cardiac arrest, he died the following day. And here's the punchline. Although around 115,000 Quadriga customers were now owed a total of $190 million, Gerald had apparently defied the laws of afterlife banking by taking it all to his grave. You see, all the bitcoins had been very securely stored in cold wallets, offline, external hard drives protected by a private key. And the customers' bitcoins had been secured so securely that only Gerald himself had ever known the key. That $190 million had really died with Gerald. I'm sure that after Quadriga's clients had passed on their condolences, everyone probably had a good chuckle about it. Or maybe not.
It's my money and I need it now! It's my money and I need it now! Shut the fuck up!
Many of them were convinced that Gerald had faked his own death and was now living the high life on a tropical island with a surgically reconstructed face and a few cold wallets loaded with millions of dollars worth of Bitcoin. Dude, if that's true, it's probably one of the biggest cons of all time. A court-appointed law firm even requested the exhumation of Gerald's body to confirm the death and cause, a request which is yet to be granted. It was noted that Jennifer left it a whole month before. And why would you, if you really did just be like, no, we threw his body in the ocean. Actually, we burned his body into ashes and then threw the ashes in the ocean along with all of his belongings. You gotta do that. You gotta. You can't pretend to bury them and just fill that coffin with sand, because as soon as they crack that bad boy open and discover it's just sand, you're in big trouble. They'll be like, let's start looking for a reconstructed face. It was noted that Jennifer left it a whole month before informing clients that Gerald had died and that she stood in line to inherit around $9 million worth of his assets. It was also noted that Gerald had drawn up a new will just 12 days before his sudden death, although, in fairness, he had just got married. Whilst he hadn't shown much forward planning for his business and clients in the event of his death, he had at least made provision for his 2 pet chihuahuas, for whom he set up a trust fund of just under $100,000. That's insane. What are you doing?
I love dogs. Doesn't everyone? Bye.
I might be completely wrong, but I suspect that Gerald really is pushing up daisies, and that his wife knew nothing about the dodgier dealings that he was tapping into his MacBook Pro. The auditing company Ernst & Young later tracked down and gained access to some of those mysterious cold wallets thought to contain millions of dollars and found them to have been completely emptied months before Gerald's death. So where'd all the money go? The Ontario Securities Commission conducted their own investigation and found that Gerald had been treating customer funds as his own to help maintain that lavish lifestyle. Shocking. And swapping money around to cover shortfalls until it reached the point where there was no real money left in the equation. Jennifer made a voluntary statement agreement to give up pretty much all of her $9 million worth of bequeathed assets to creditors as Quadriga filed for bankruptcy in 2019. And while insolvency proceedings are ongoing, it seems unlikely that those 115,000 customers will ever see much of their lost investments. The two pet chihuahuas are reported to be in good spirits, but have yet to make a comment. Beachhead. Although the perpetrators of most cryptocurrency scams tend to disappear quickly when nobody's looking, the case of SaveDroid is a deeply odd example, as the co-founder appeared to be openly mocking his idiot investors after making off with the loot. Uh-oh. That doesn't seem like a good idea. Don't brag about your crimes. Don't do it. SaveDroid was a German startup co-founded in 2015 by Yassin Hankir. See, it's not just Canadians. I have to say, in my mind, this was so American. Like, I don't know. It just felt like such an American thing, these, like, AI, blockchain, blah, 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 crypto scams. Apparently not. It's Canadians and the bloody Germans. No!
Your intellect is as weak as your dollar. You disrespect yourself and your nation.
The blockchain-based AI savings app promised innovative new solutions for cryptocurrency investments and financial management, backed up with a cool crypto-based credit card. I don't know why I keep getting advertised a crypto credit card on Reddit. I just log in and I'm like, I would never get that. I've never clicked on it. Why are you spending money advertising it to me? You know what I have? Well, I don't actually have a credit card, but I've got a regular bank card and it works fine. I don't need this. Why would I need this? It's like, well, Simon, how dare you trust a central bank in a, what do they call it? Like a fiat currency? I don't know, because they've been around forever and they seem pretty functional, don't they? And they're like, well, you can transfer money for free. And I'm like, bro, have you heard of TransferWise? It's free. It's like $1. You want to transfer money in Bitcoin? It's like, it's expensive. I don't get it. I'm sure all the crypto boys are in the comments being like, well, Simon, you just don't understand. Bitcoin's amazing because there's this and that and this. And Bitcoin's probably the only good one. I mean, there's other ones. What's that? Ethereum? That's the only one I can name other than that Dogecoin or Dogecoin or whatever it is.
Wow.
And in 2018, it's reported that the company racked up to $50 million from direct funding and an incredibly successful ICO. So, there was naturally a little concern when the SaveDroid website went offline very shortly after the ICO and the company stopped answering its telephone calls. The website did briefly flicker back into life, but only to display the vintage South Park meme, and it's gone. Dude. This is not a good idea. Fortunately, Yassin himself was relatively quick off the mark to keep worried investors informed about what was going on Twitter. He posted a selfie in an airport, followed up by a photograph of him enjoying a cold beer on an exotic beach, alongside the caption, "Thanks guys, over and out." Mate, you are going to prison. You are going to go and hang out with Bernie Madoff, whoever the German equivalent of that is. I mean, you can't just do this. You can't. Well, at least he remembered his manners. The panicked investors immediately tried to identify the exact beach on what Yassin was blatantly pissing away their $50 million in a bid to personally track down the crypto villain and kill him. Oh my god, not track down him and get his money. Someone will kill you, though. That's a lot of people and it's a lot of money. You're going to end up in a suitcase. I don't know why that was the murder that I just jumped into my mind, but it feels like that's the sort of beat. Like some mafia guy's going to come, kill that guy, put him in a suitcase and throw him in the ocean. Or at least kick some serious sand in his face. Others preferred to put their faith in the legal system as multiple lawsuits were threatened over the next few hours. But hang about, cheeky as him was just pulling your leg. By the end of the day, it announced that the whole exit scam had just been a jolly wind-up. Yet he also reckoned there was a serious message behind it. If this was just a wind-up, it's actually pretty clever. It's actually pretty clever, because you're really sending a good warning about being careful, although, dude, you gotta be really careful here, man. In his own broken English, he claimed this was not meant to do prank, and this was not meant to do fun of anyone or play around with trust. Okay.
Great job.
Apparently, he was highlighting the dangers of investing in an ICO and calling for tighter regulations from the authorities to avoid scammers running off with all the dough, whilst also urging investors to carry out proper research before plowing all of their savings into dodgy German cryptocurrency. The good news is that he still had all the money and SaveDroid was a genuinely viable crypto investment. But whether this had really meant to be a stark warning or just a poor taste publicity stunt, the bad news is that his investors completely lost confidence in both him and the company. Yeah, mate, I was just going to say this. How do you think that's going to go? People are going to sell out as much as they can as soon as they're out, and everyone is still going to lose money, and you're not going to make any money because all of yours is also going to become worthless. You everybody. The money's just going to disappear. The project's tokens crashed in value, and although SaveDroid limped on for a few more years, the company never really recovered and called it quits in 2001. Considering that most investors really did lose a load of money over the subsequent plummeting value of the company, the irony is that Yasin may as well have run away to the beach with all the money. If it hung around long enough at the scheduled beach bar, he may have had a chance to share a few cocktails with a mysteriously wonky-faced man who kept insisting that his name wasn't Gerald. That's the man with a fake face! Thank you, Danny. I enjoyed this one. If you enjoyed it too, like button below, subscribe. Thank you so much. Thanks also to Sam, who edits these videos and adds in the memes. Love it! And I'll see you next time. You know, some people will be like, I got rich off Bitcoin. A friend of mine, I think I've told this story before. Well, guess who looks like an idiot now? Not him, me.